Welcome to our Tuesday Trailblazer call. And I will be kind of sharing something I did actually a few weeks back. For those of you that were on the call, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'm going to kind of come back to that because it's going to be pertinent to what's going to be happening here, meaning that we're anticipating our software to be released here and the onboarding process to be released very, very soon. I'm assuming before the end of the month. Okay, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking maybe the next week or two, we're going to have it. So what I did was I prepared kind of an outline I want to talk about here, and I'm going to introduce some guys that I'm working with on the team right now as well here and kind of share some ideas and concepts that I think will be important. Obviously, you guys all know, and women listening right now, that this call is about growing, building your business. That's what it's all about. It's about building the team. So that's kind of what I'm going to emphasize here. So I'm going to share my screen here. And also mute some people here, I think. Let's see, I'm going to mute a few people if I could. For those of you that aren't muted, if you can mute your phone, that'd be wonderful.
Al, I got you covered, bud.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you, man. There we go. Cool.
Yeah, that's real good.
Okay, cool. What I want to do is talk in terms of, Ryan talked about this about a month or so ago, and it kind of resonated with me. He was talking in terms of, what happens when a movie is about to be released? Like in this case, James Bond, which is one of my favorite all-time movies as a kid, right? And as an adult, I still love going to James Bond movies. They're just a lot of fun for me. And because of COVID-19, of course, everything is shut down, but we're still anticipating the new James Bond movie to come out in the future here. And what's going to happen about a month and a half before that, or maybe a month before? You're going to see billboards. You're going to see of the upcoming attractions on commercials. You're going to see it in magazines. There's going to be a plethora of advertising pertaining to the upcoming James Bond movie or any of the big movies coming out in the near future here. As Ryan indicated weeks ago, that's exactly what they do. They build the excitement, the anticipation of the upcoming movie. They throw little tidbits of, coming attractions, and for those at the movie theater today or tomorrow, next week, they're going to throw a little bit trailers of the upcoming big movies to be, shared, probably shown in the next several months here. So that's just typical, right? So such is the case with our business model here. We have to start, for those of us that really want to build quickly, fast, and be profitable out the gate here, we want to take advantage of this time we have right now, which is the time of anticipation. We're all waiting for the variable product to come out, along with the Gearbox, Stratosphere, and the Leo, the Legend. There's some great products that are going to be released here in the next week or two, along with an easier onboarding process, as you all know. So we're going to be light years ahead, way ahead of the game. And so there's three components here to consider, okay? There's three decisions to consider right now. And I've kind of put it in red, yellow, and green, representing a stoplight, okay? So the first one of the decisions we can all consider right now, and a lot of people are, unfortunately, is the slow way. And what I mean by that is, let's read number one. Assuming variable is released August 30th, I just kind of came through that date up. It could be even sooner, but let's say August 30th. Some people are actually going to wait until their new software is set up and running for a couple weeks so they can get sold on the performance of the software. They want to make sure that it's going to work for them before they even talk to anybody, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So by doing that, they'll probably have to wait till about September 15th to begin inviting. Okay, so let's say they get on board on the 30th. It's released on the 30th. They get their software up and running, variable or whatever software they choose to get in, and they want a 2-week run before they even talk to anyone, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So about the 15th of September, they start to invite people on our ongoing Zoom calls that Alan, Ryan, I, Skip, others are doing, right? So let's, from the past of my business in the last 5 months, it takes about 2 weeks for people to actually get on board from the time they actually see the product, right, on a Zoom. That's been my experience. It could be lesser or even more time, but about 2 weeks, let's say, because people don't generally make up their mind very quickly. They just want to talk to their spouse. They want to think about it. They want to revisit 1 or 2 more Zooms before they get on board, and then they feel confident and comfortable. So for those that are wanting to be in the slow lane, that's okay. And let's assume that August 30th comes around and you're excited, you get your product up and running in a demo count, and now you see the performance for the next 2 weeks. Now you're sold, you're 100% committed now. Okay, I'm gonna start calling about the 15th of September. Well, think in terms of actually signing people up about the 30th of September, okay? Because it's gonna require some time, right? Now, there's another group of people out there that wanna go a little faster, and that's in the yellow here. That is, we're assuming variable is released August 30th. And now they're gonna wait until their software is set up, and then they begin inviting right away, which is very cool. They're gonna actually, start, once their software is up and running, they're going to start making the calls out, inviting people on Zoom calls. So assuming that happens, we're going to look at about the 15th of September of actual signups occurring. That's just kind of the reality. It's going to take a few weeks to ramp up to get people's interest to buy into this, okay? However, there's another group of us, like Ryan and I and others on the call, that I'm going to introduce you tonight. They're actually not going to wait around. We're in the fast lane here, okay? And green means go, right? So let's assume right now the variable is released August 30th. A lot of us right now are beginning now to invite people to Zoom calls. The Monday night call Ryan has put together every Monday at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and then others that some of the leaders are doing throughout the week, right? They're happening every week. I mean, I did 2 calls this morning. I did 2 on Sunday. I mean, I'm doing them throughout the week. I'm not waiting for anything. I'm inviting people now in anticipation of our new product breakout here in the next week or so. So for those that see what I see and want to move faster here, you might consider, there's 3 decisions to make here. You can wait a couple weeks and then, wait till your software's up and running a couple weeks, and you're looking at maybe signing people up about the 30th of September. Over a month from now, folks. Or number 2, once again, to just reiterate here, you can actually get started about the 30th. And if it's released on the 30th, start making calls. And you're probably going to start seeing people joining up about the 15th of September or about a month out here. However, for a lot of us that are actually decided to go ahead and, keep our foot off the brake and on the gas pedal, all right, which we've been doing for the last several weeks here, we're going to start signing up people on the 30th of August, the day the people actually come in, okay? Let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to give an example here. I'm going to bring out one of my boards here for a reason. Okay, this is one of my groups right here, and I got 12 people right here. Some of these are my own personal people that I'm actually prospecting. Others are within my team of this team here. This is one of my groups right here. I've got 12 people as of today that are already going to sign up immediately as soon as the software is ready. So once we get the green light that the announcement comes, it may come on our update call at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Sal this Thursday. I don't really know, but once we find that date, then I'm going to circle back to everybody here, along with many others, and let them know the date that it's going to be available. So that day, we're going to be signing up people. This is just one of my groups. I got 12 people right now that will come in right now. They're ready to go. And some of these people I'm doing already more Zoom calls for. So I'm going to beef that up. And my goal is to get at least 25 people in this one group when the software is the day it's released. Okay. So that's if you want to go fast. Anybody here can do this. If they choose to pick up the phone and make a call to their upline, Alan, Hernan Lawless, Skip, there's a lot of leaders on this call right now that'll do the work for you. Get them on a Zoom call and start inviting today or wait till the software comes out, or wait a month. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. So, and so let me go further here, and then I'm going to introduce you to a couple guys that I'm working with here as well. So I'm going to kind of take you back here. Let me go back to my screen here. So let's go further into this. Look at the first sentence there in the red here. I'm going to read it out to you. You only need a handful of customers with consistent results to build a massive team. When I was invited back to this mastermind, which was held back in Tennessee about 3 weeks ago, along with Ryan and Jolene and a few other people, Sal got up and talked in terms of this, and I wrote this down. It made a lot of sense. And this is coming from a guy that's built an organization of over 250,000 affiliates, okay? So when someone like that is up at the top of their game and at the head of the class sharing, I'm gonna take notes. And he started to talk about that with his experience, and I know there's others on the team here that have built big teams like Ryan has and Jolene, and I know, Skip has as well, that understand this, folks, if you basically only have maybe 3 people in your organization, 1 in each leg, that see what we see in this, that those 3 people can convert into hundreds and then thousands of people in the next year. It could just happen because of the excitement, and we're gonna have momentum, we're gonna have the right product with the onboarding and all that. The second one down here, let's read that. 3% of a community's occupancy can change the organization. The key is to find your 3%, 1 in each leg, as I described earlier. What that means is when Sal was talking about that, I started thinking about that. And so if you can understand this, that if you've got 100 people in your group right now, all you need are really 3 people, preferably 1 in each leg, that sees this, and it'll just blow up with or without you, okay? Now, if you're relatively new, you've got maybe 10 people in your group, that's okay, okay? By getting on board and starting to share the product and getting exposure, it's all about exposing what we have, folks. It's all about getting people on these Zoom calls, which are free. You don't have to get all dressed up, get in your car, drive to a hotel room, drive to someone's home, sit at the table for an hour, drive all the way back through traffic. It can be done in 30 minutes, not the hours it used to take for us to build teams in the past. This is so simple, it's ridiculous. I'm in my shorts right now, and after this call, I'm gonna have a bite to eat and go take a dip in the pool. That's my day, okay? I've been doing Zoom calls throughout the day, and I had couple guys at my home earlier today. At 5 o'clock, they were here for an hour. I did a presentation. They're all in now. They wanted to meet me in person, so I invited them to my home here. But the fact is, folks, this is about as easy as it gets. All you've got to do is get good at getting on the phone and inviting someone to get on a Zoom call, of which you don't even have to do because you've got upline support to do that with, okay? Here's some approaches you might consider, okay? As an example, for some of you that are a little shy about picking up the phone and you're waiting for your software to be up and running, you want to see the results after 2 weeks, and then you want to get started, that's okay. But here's an example of what you can consider, and use your own words, but let's just read this together to a prospect. You can just call them up and see, I see an incredible upside to subscribing to a new AI Forex software, which will be released in about 2 weeks. I would love to get your honest opinion on it before it's available. Would you be open to hop on a 30-minute Zoom call with me this week? And most people will say yes if you have any credibility with them, okay? And you just simply set up a Zoom call with them and your upline and schedule it on them, okay? I don't really expect people to get on the Monday night call at 6:30 because people have different schedules, they've got families, they've got work commitments and so forth. So I cater to the new person. What I've been doing and how I've been building is I've got Roberto that is willing to get on a call. I'll say, hey, Roberto, I tell you what, I'm gonna make it really easy for you. Your time's very valuable, so is mine, but I've got more flexibility than you. Pick a day and time right now that works in your calendar for a 30-minute slot, and we'll lock it in right now, right today. Today's Tuesday. You have anything open on Wednesday or Thursday? He'll look at his calendar, Thursday at 4 o'clock. Okay, lock it in, boom. I cater the meeting to that person, okay? This way there's no out. They can't give me an excuse. Oh, Al, I can't do Monday night. I've got, this or that or the other going on. I don't expect people to come on these calls, folks. I basically will take the business to them on their schedule initially until I get them locked in, and then it changes a little bit. But initially, that's what I do, and that's kind of what I'm doing to sponsor. Here's another approach here, number 2. Now, this is to recent customers, meaning if some of you have some people on your team right now that have kind of fallen by the wayside, stop subscribing to Alexander because they weren't getting the results they wanted, or whatever the reason is, but they're still out there, they're still interested, I'd call every one of them back, whether you have one person or 100 people, and say, and I'm excited about the new variable AI software, which is going to be released within 2 weeks. Would it make sense to invite 3 of your close friends on a Zoom call to see, so they can get a sneak preview? Let's see if they see the potential value here. In other words, use your own words, but that's just an overall question to try to get them to see, hey, let's open up your mind to this new software coming out. It's nothing like what we've had. It's a whole different ball game. It's night and day. I think it's worthy of your time. And oh, by the way, Ryan, maybe you should invite 3 of your people that you've been wanting to share this with, but haven't. But let's just get them on the call to see what they think about this too. Let's just get their opinions. We're not going to sign you up. We're just here to share, right? And then the third one here, this is a little bit more, I don't know. I just kind of typed this out earlier today, but it may be something of value to you. With someone that you might have a lot of credibility with, that you look up to, that's done well in business or with finance, you feel a little bit uncomfortable with them because they've made a lot more money than you. They're much more savvy when it comes to business, okay, and you're brand new. This is just something simple. I respect your professional advice when it comes to business and wealth creation. There's a program available that made me feel confident that there is a way to create wealth for my family without selling anything. Would you do me a favor? Would you be willing to hop on a 30-minute Zoom call with me? I'd like to get your honest opinion on what I see as a tool to create wealth. Simple, okay? So what you're invariably doing is you're actually inviting them in, but you're complimenting that person into wanting to take a look at what you have. This is really good for new people that have never really done a lot of sponsoring. They may not have the confidence, or they're very shy or whatever. I mean, if I get calls from people like that, which I have in the past, and I know Ryan has, and probably Alan, even cousins of mine that are younger than me, if they called me up and said, hey, Uncle Al or Cousin Al, I'm looking at this opportunity. I'd love to get your professional opinion. You've been in business a lot longer than me, would you mind getting on a quick Zoom call? I just want you to get your opinion. That would feel very worthy wanting to do that for someone, right? That'd make me feel kind of honored and say, oh yeah, I'd be happy to do, Kyle. Yeah, I'd be happy to. When do you want to do this? Oh, how about this day or time? Boom, set it up, done. This is what I've taught some of my new people in the past, and it's worked out really well. It's just complimenting someone into taking a look to get on a Zoom call, and then the presenter will do the presentation, whether it be Alan, Hernan, me, whomever, Roberto, Ryan, whoever, and then let them get a taste of it from the presenter. All you're doing is being the messenger, okay? Now, let me give you another couple of examples. Is Randy on the line? Randy, are you on? Randy Rivera? I don't know if you're on. I don't see you. Randy Rivera, are you on? Okay.
I don't see him out.
Okay, maybe he wasn't able to get on. That's okay. So this is another group I'm working with on my other side over here. And Randy Rivera was brought in by Rebecca and Shane, who's under the fabulous Simon Jacoby. And so Randy, of course, is in the military, and he actually, I've done Zoom calls with him. I've got a guy named Rick Gruntman, who I'm going to see on Saturday down near La Jolla in San Diego. This guy is raises capital. He's a big time networker guy, not in network marketing, but in capital, raising money for companies and all that. And he's interested, so I'm going to meet him eyeball to eyeball on Saturday about 11 a.m. I'm going to drive down and meet up with him at his home. And then we're working with a guy named Jim McCracklin. He's an ex-professional baseball player that I did a Zoom call with, I think about a week and a half ago back east. Okay. And then he also brought on Roberto, who's on the line with me. And Roberto, would you unmute yourself? There you are, and say hello.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? How's everyone doing tonight?
Roberto, so we reached out to you. I did a Zoom call for you through Randy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us a little bit about your background? Because I don't think people know of your background and you had to make a decision. Can you kind of take us from where you were and where you are today and why you chose Avoria Prime real quick?
Yeah, of course. For those of you guys on this call that don't know me, my name is Roberto Tavares, originally from New York, prior military. And that's really how Randy Rivera and myself connected. Did 11 years, jumping out of airplanes, been all over the world, loved absolutely what I did. But, for me, one of the bad thing, I was actually exposed to network marketing while I was deployed in Afghanistan. I had a really good buddy of mine send me a care package. In it, was it cookies and the magazines and stuff. But he also sent me a DVD for the company he was working with. And I checked it out. It made sense. And lo and behold, I went and got started when I got back from Afghanistan. Now, guys, the thing about this that I want to convey to you is that at the time, this was back in 2004. I didn't even know how to spell network marketing, but yet because I plugged into the system, I was able to achieve the level of income that took me 11 years to create in the Army. I was able to do that in 7 months while I was still active duty military. So think about that. 11 years to create an income, and I was able to achieve that with my spare time business in only 7 months. And, broke my first 5-figure month shortly after that, and that was back in 2005. So, fast forward, 15 years, I've been in the industry this entire time, self-employed, love what I do. And last year I took a big hit. Was with a couple companies. One company unfortunately failed to launch. Another company shut its doors, owing me a very, very big chunk of money. So I'll be honest with you guys, when I looked at Avoria, I was a little gun shy. I kind of took a step back from MLM in general. And when I was exposed to this, it was again through my buddy Rivera. He showed it to me and I liked it. I mean, quite honestly, it made sense, but I didn't make a decision, guys. I went ahead and sat on it for about another 2 weeks, did another webinar, and that's really when I decided to pull the trigger. Now, the irony is, guys, is that I actually took another 2 weeks of just testing out the program itself. I went ahead, Rebecca, she's my upline, absolutely phenomenal. She went and got me connected within 15 minutes. I had my site up and everything else. And I literally just traded the program for about 2 weeks before I even told anybody else, guys. I really wanted to make sure that I was in the right place, that there was credibility, and that, this thing kind of stood for itself. And that's really where we're at today.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing that. Let me ask you something with your experience. Now, there's some people on the line right now or on this call that might be a little gun shy. They might be waiting for, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. There's no bad in this, but with your experience, what would you do if you were looking at this right now, or you just had plugged in and you're brand new to this? Would you go ahead and begin inviting people to Zoom calls like you have done? I know you did a Zoom call on your own, I think yesterday or day before, and you had, I think right now you've got Raul, Robbie, Francisco, Ray, Chris, Trey. I think there's 5 or 6 people that are ready to hop on board with you.
Yeah.
I think. And then you reached out to me yesterday. I said, well, let's put on the brakes. I talked to Ryan. We said, let's put on the brakes. Let's not get him involved with the existing software. Let's wait till our variable comes out, and I think that'll be a better deal for everybody, right? So
yeah.
We've got people waiting in the wings, but you're not waiting, right? You're just
no.
What would you suggest for the new person here, just looking at this, for that person that might have the mindset, I got to make sure it works for me before I even talk to anyone, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what is your thought behind that?
Here's my thing, right? So for any of you guys that are brand new on this call that are looking at anything that has to do with trading, you got to understand that traders can tell you whatever they want. They can say, I create this income, I make this much money, I've told all these people to do this. But the fact of the matter is always ask what's called My Effects Book. Okay, My Effects Book is a report card. It's sort of like a better business rating for that trader. They can tell you whatever they want, but facts will basically show what it is that they're actually doing. So in looking at the MyFX book for Alexander, we have a 100% gain. Now, guys, as a disclaimer, I do have to say that past results don't dictate future performance. Just to throw that out there, but understand that with the variable that's coming out, that's really my biggest selling point. I don't have to sit there and explain it to you. I don't have to break it down to you. Literally, let me just show you exactly what they've already done. And we're talking about a EA that has over 1,000% gain in over 9 months. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, there's really no other place that I have found that provides that type of opportunity. And then you add a network marketing component to that as well. We can actually build an organization. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I was fortunate enough to meet a gentleman by the name of Trey Gutierrez. I see some of his people right here, Jim Benson and Kimberly Rogers. They already are on the call. He met through a crypto project that I'm working on, from a couple of years back, and we connected over Forex, and then lo and behold, we had this thing in common. And quite honestly, he feels the same way. He's passionate. He sees it. He sees it as an opportunity to not only make money, but to help other people make money as well. And here's the biggest component of this. Right now, here's the biggest thing, guys. Success loves speed. Okay, it is much easier to grow a business quick than it is to build it slow, because you're able to piggyback from the momentum that basically is created. Okay, right now we are in the most technologically connected time in history. You can literally do a Zoom and connect high touch, which Al is doing this weekend by doing a sit down with high tech. You literally can actually show a person a webinar, switch screens, show them the MyFX book, show them the back office, the whole 9 yards. And you're able to do that from your home. Quite honestly, my wife has cracked jokes. I literally have had a button-down shirt up on top and some shorts, on the bottom. And she cracks jokes as she sees me walking into my office, because I'm working from home, being able to build my business while I basically grow, while I teach my daughters. They're homeschooled and everything else. So, we get to create that here at home, and it's all because of businesses like this.
Awesome. Roberto, I'm really happy to have you on the team. We're really excited. Ryan's very excited too. And we're going to be plugging into your people, helping them. And so really, where do you see yourself right now? Let's say about when the software's ready to pop, you've already got 5 or 6 guys ready to go. I know you'll hit 600 probably your first couple of weeks into it, if not 1,500 by your first week or month, I think. We talk in terms of that, because you're already setting the stage right now. You're not wasting any time.
Here's the thing, for all you guys that are on the call right now, what if, between now and the time that this software actually comes out, and, I got to say that I had to call Trey and my brother-in-law, Carlos, and everybody this morning and tell them, hey, guys, look, man, I apologize. We're going to have to pump the brakes. And I kind of explained the benefit of waiting. So they're like, oh, sure. Okay, fine. But, we'll do it. But here's the thing, guys. We can continue building on that momentum. What if over the next week or so, we're able to knock out Zoom after Zoom after Zoom, and now instead of basically, getting 1 or 2 people your first day, what if you get your 3 free right from day one? What if within 48 hours, you basically, you pop 600, and you literally did that because you have everybody already in line just to go ahead and waiting to get started. And that's really the benefit of this, Take advantage. Again, the MyFX book is the biggest selling point. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to do anything like that. Just show them the results. It speaks for itself. Have them plug in and have them basically start doing the same thing with their groups, and you'll realize that within a couple of days, once this thing launches, you'll be getting paid without even really knowing how this whole thing works.
Exactly. Well said, man. Thank you for getting on. I really appreciate you sharing tonight. Thank you.
I appreciate being invited. Thank you, gentlemen.
Of course. Yeah, it's our pleasure. So that ends my 30-minute slot tonight. Pretty much, hopefully you got some value out of this tonight. Are there any questions at all right now? Ryan, do you see anything in the chat? Are there any questions? Anybody have any comments or questions or concerns?
Yeah, I don't see any questions. People are fired up though, for sure. And man, I love what Trey put in the chat. Trey, you're so spot on. Trey said, yes, let's build. And then he said, this is valuable for everybody. There's a huge nugget right here. Right after that, he said, come in the game ranking. Folks, you have no idea, right? It piggybacks on what Roberto said. Success does love speed. And how, if you're looking at the business side of this, which that's what Trailblazer Tuesday is, right? This isn't a trading call as much as it is a business building call, right? And so if you're looking at how do I maximize this timing? How do I wring every ounce of potential out of the leverage that we get from the timing? I'll tell you, Roberto and Trey are hitting the nail right on the head. There's nothing more. See, here's the deal. More people are familiar with network marketing than they are with Forex in the United States. I can guarantee you that. And probably even in Canada, North America, that, you know, you get on the other side of the pond, Europe, etc. You know, Forex is a lot more popular, Europe, Asia, etc. But here, United States, you'll have more people that have a point of reference from the network marketing potential income opportunity than they will, at least at the starting line, with the Forex side of things. And so, man, I'll tell you, that's why I love what Trey said, because what's more compelling than a bunch of people popping ranks while that new person's still learning what the heck is Forex and what does that mean and what's it all about? If they see people hitting ranks, that becomes compelling enough. They'll figure the Forex thing out as we go, right? And so, man, thank you, Roberto, for being on, and Trey, thank you for sharing that. That is so on point. I'm fired up to have you guys here. You guys are going to add so much to this community, and so I answered prayers, man. Grateful that you guys are here. Phenomenal.
By the way, Ryan, Randy just came on. Randy, can you unmute yourself and show yourself? Hey, Randy, there you are.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. We're just completing our segment this evening, but I wanted to introduce you because you were the one that introduced me to Roberto, of course, and you were brought in by Shane and Rebecca, correct?
Yes.
And you and I have done some. I was talking in terms of some of the Zooms you and I have done for like Jim McCracken, Rick, of course, who I'm going to see on Saturday. That's going to be a huge component to you. And then what other players do you have besides Roberto and Rick and Jim right now? Anyone else right now?
So I'm speaking to a gentleman in New York right now. His name is Angel. He's got I think he's selling products, household products from a multi-level marketing company currently. Mm-hmm. And I invited him to one of these meetings. He hasn't been able to show up yet, but I told him it would be a nice addition to what he's doing. The other person that I'm speaking to is a gentleman out in Florida. His name is Renee. He got into, do you guys remember that Swiss gold company that were selling the gold cards? I had like a gram of gold on it, and you could buy
Carrot bars.
Carrot bars. There you go. Well, he was into that real heavy, did a great job with it. You know, he did a magnificent, him and a buddy of his in Florida, outstanding job. And I'm talking to him about Avoria as well. Him and I are going to be meeting up soon, and I'll be doing a call with Al, possibly Roberto, if he wants to be a part of it as well, you as well, Ryan. And there's another gentleman in Texas by the name of, we'll just call him Joe. Joe is, he's retired military, and I asked him, what's he been doing? He says, well, you're just kicking around the house, retired, just, you know, enjoying that retirement and his money. And he's just sitting at home. And I said, well, what do you know about the Forex market? He said, I don't know anything. I said, well, what do you know about artificial intelligence? He was like, blank look in his eye. I said, go ahead and take a look at it. And, you know, he wants something to do. And so I'm going to invite him to one of the meetings to take a look. And, you know, this is what I say simply. You know, I know that the variable is going to be coming out soon, but this is the perfect time to introduce this product. Like any grand opening, you don't want to wait until the doors open, you start ordering products. There's nothing in the store when you walk in, right? I mean, you want to start getting things together right now, start introducing it to people so that when the doors open, you hit the ground running. And that's what I'm looking for right now. And that's why I'm introducing it to people. I'm saying, hey, look, I'm not here trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to show you something that is going to benefit you and your family, and take a look at it. That's all you got to do. Come take a look at it, make a decision for yourself. And once you show once you have a presentation that you guys show, I mean, it's hard to say no. But it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for so many people to get involved. And that's all I'm doing, but I'm trying to do my best to bring it to as much people that I know. And Ryan, I think it was your suggestion, go through your phone and go A to B to C to D. And I just started going through my phone, and I started finding people that I knew that I can speak to and say, hey, guess what? Take a look at this, and don't phase out. Right now, we're in a very interesting time in the country where people are working from home. This is something you got to take a look at, and that's what I've been doing.
I'm really proud to be working with you, and I'm really happy that you actually solved this, and you actually are the people you're going after, like Roberto. These are quality people that have savvy when it comes to business and wealth. These guys have made money in the past. They've done well in the past, and I'm always impressed by the caliber of people you're bringing in, and the fact that this is all about duplication. For those of you that got on Sal's call today, the mentorship call, he's talking about duplication, and this is a perfect scenario where, understand this, folks. Under Randy here, he's already got a handful of people coming in, and of course Roberto's one of them. Roberto's already doing his own Zoom meetings. He's only been at this a couple weeks with us, really. I mean, he hasn't been with us very long. He's already doing his own Zoom meetings. He's already got about a half a dozen guys. We're going to bring in their guys. So obviously that one leg is going to be really catapulting here, growing very quickly right out the gate. And now we're going to be working with Jim and Rick and your other players here. So
Sure.
we got some work to do. It's going to be fun, huh?
Absolutely. And Roberto, I met Roberto, back in 2004, I think. 2003, 2004. I mean, Roberto was selling prepaid legal to soldiers out in Fort Irwin, way out in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you, if you guys ever want to go visit Fort Irwin, yeah, I'm telling you, you will ask yourself, where is this place? Because you'll be on a one-man road, and about 40 miles later, you'll find Fort Irwin. And I met Roberto out there. And I'm telling you, the whole company signed up. The entire company signed up prepaid legal that day. And it was really impressive to see his presentation. And you know what? He had passion behind it. And he believed in the product. And you know what? It's a great product. Till this very day, I still have it. Till this very day. Because it is a great product. If you have legal questions, you call them up, you get some advice, they give it to you, and you move on with your life. And, for whatever it is, $16, $17 a month, you can't beat that. And Avoria comes along, and Robert and I have known each other for years. And I said, hey, Roberto, you got to take a look at this. You're not going to believe it. And Roberto's one of those guys that takes the time. He takes the time to take a look. And he jumps right in. He takes a look at it. He comes back and he looks at me and he's like, holy cow, I'm all in. And, Roberto can attest to that himself. I've known Roberto for years. And when he sees something that he likes, he's all in. He jumps in. He's prior service. He's a veteran, airborne veteran. This guy, when he wants to be a part of something, he gets into it. And I get enthusiastic off of that as well, because he's got the enthusiasm going for himself. He's a powerhouse all by himself. You know what I mean? It's like I almost feel like I got to start catching up to Roberto, because he's already giving the meetings. He's already,
Ditto, yeah.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
So let's move up line. Then we'll kind of cut this call off here. Let's move up line another notch to Rebecca McEwen, who's on here. Rebecca, where are you? I don't see you now. So Rebecca, you and your husband were smart enough to share this with Randy, right? Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Shane and Randy have known each other for like 10 years. He's known Ivy since she was an infant. They were in the same unit together. Then Shane moved on to another unit. We kind of lost a little bit of touch. And Shane got back to the unit. And we hit it off again real well, and we decided to go to the beach together. And sitting on the beach, Shane and Randy had a conversation, and that was it. Just one thing. He's like, "Oh, I used to do stock and, work on Wall Street." And we were like, "Whoa, we didn't know that." And just kind of, we knew it, but like, we didn't really know it back then because we weren't a part of Forex. And so just one thing led to another, just from like a 20-minute conversation on the beach. And then we just spent the rest of the day hanging out.
And look what's happening here in the last, several weeks here. By introducing to Randy, Roberto's introduced me to, we did a Zoom call the other night with, I think you have 4 or 5 of your people on. The other night we did a Zoom call. It's starting to just trickle and build underneath you, right? So obviously you and Shane we got work to do on the other 2 legs, but this is the way it's built, folks.
Well, and in regards to that, I'm training at a gym, and the owner of the gym is my trainer. And I had like a brief conversation with him last night at the end of my training session, and he's interested as well. I just haven't had a second to talk to you guys about it. He wants to take a look at it. He does stocks, so
yeah. Well,
so
the way
Here
I
we
look
go.
at it, Rebecca, I'm a numbers guy like Ryan. I look at the numbers. I'm saying, okay, with the Zoom calls and the people we've talked to, the people waiting right now, expect about 15, 20 people popping in when the variable comes out just on that one leg.
right.
So we got work to do on the other 2 legs.
We
but
do,
that's good.
we
That's
do,
good news.
and I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
But hey, well, thank you for sharing, Rebecca. I just want to kind of hear your voice on that. But there's no more questions. Thank you for your time this evening.